I've just gone out of the 2024 remake of the 1994 movie, which is based on a comic book series, and that is The Crow. Having never seen the original at the time of this review, what did I think of this brand new remake, reimagining? It's not great. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this review. Yeah, when this was announced that they were going to do a remake of The Crow, I know a lot of audience reception was like, why do we need a remake? Especially, you know, given the fact of the tragedy that happened with the original movie with Brandon Lee. And I, of course, couldn't attach to them thoughts of why do we need a remake, because as I said, I've never seen the original. So for me, having a chance to see this brand new reiteration, I was like, okay, cool, look, let's just take this one for what it is. I'm going to go in open-minded. The trailer was somewhat meh at very best, and after walking out of the movie, the general reception, including myself, of people walking out and like hearing their thoughts was, the movie's not very good. And I think a lot of that comes down to a lot of issues, I'll be quite frank. Just kind of like strike after strike, kind of like a bowling match, right? Just continuously hitting the strikes of negatives. But if you're wondering, well, Mike, is there actually anything positive to take away from The Crow 2024? And my answer is, yeah. For me personally, here are my positives. Bill Skarsgård plays the main character, who is called Eric. Now, if you're wondering, okay, well, what is this actually about, which leads into my positives? Well, Eric is dating a girl called Shelley, who's played by FKA Twigs, and they are dating. However, they are both killed. This happens pretty early into the movie, but he gets a chance to come back to life to bring her and him back to life by taking down the person responsible for killing them in the first place. Now, I think Bill Skarsgård does an okay job with what he's given. Of course, people are going to be overshadowed by Brandon Lee and like that legacy that he left, and of course the tragedy. So people might be, well, look, Bill Skarsgård wasn't great. But now for me, as I say, with not any of that attachment, I think he did an okay job. It was definitely the best part of the whole darn movie, and of course with him being a good actor as it is, I think that he definitely tried to do the best he probably could with, again, what he was really given. I think some shots in terms of the cinematography is actually pretty nice. There's some cool moments where it might be like a very bright scene and you've got the character like in the standout of that bright scene, or in contrast, you've got the dark scene where there might be like a light that is illuminated from like a street light, but then you've got the character like stood in that kind of, you know, that light. And those moments I thought, wow, okay, the movie looks pretty nice. There's times between where it's not like just like cut all the time. There's moments where I thought, okay, yeah, you know, it's pretty good to look at. And I think there was one or two moments with the music I think fit the scene okay, especially the scene at the opera, which is by far the best scene in the entire movie. But unfortunately, that is where my positives end. Oh boy, let's get into the mountain, and I mean Mount Everest of negatives. Okay, FKA Twigs as Shelley. I do know that she's a singer, songwriter in real life. Never listened to a single one of her songs. Acting-wise, it's gotta go. The love story connection between the two is not given enough time to even develop at this point, guys. I mean, we get maybe like 15 minutes and that's it of a nearly 2-hour runtime. And of course, it's going to include some flashbacks, but the love story, it's just bad. You don't care. You don't give a damn that these two characters have fallen in love. It is so rushed to the point of when they meet to the point of their death, as I say, about 15 minutes into the movie, where you can't get on board because the dialogue that they're given, the pair of them, Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs, is cringy. It's the point where, like, if you find it hard to love me harder, or a line along those. And I was just like, it was awful, really, really appalling. The villain is garbage, really, really is that bad. Doesn't really get much screen time. When he's on screen, it's really kind of laughable, the terms of how this guy and his power and how he uses it. I couldn't help but laugh, and I'm not really supposed to be laughing in this movie or how those scenes play out, but it was just questionable. Why? Okay. And we get no backstory about him whatsoever and how he's got these powers. We maybe get like a dialogue exposition line or two to say how. I was like, okay, so I'm guessing that's how we do it, and I guess that's how he's got to this stage. But it's never given time to flesh out or even really explain, or that you even really care. The cinematography is just cut all the darn time, even in one single scene, to the point where it's just some moments that should be really cool, really stand out, or like a bold moment is just cut by an edit, and I'm just like, are we going to stop these edits anytime soon? Some of the music choices is just questionable as to why that specific song was in this moment. Like, for example, they might have like a music choice to make like the scene feel like almost it's like badass, or like, oh hey, look at this cool shot of Bill Skarsgård, Eric Draven walking away from this scene, and it kind of left me question a lot of stuff, I'll be quite frank with you. And everything else in between, I couldn't really care about, and it's such a shame, because I honestly felt as if this could have had a lot of potential. It seems like a cool story. It really seems like you could adapt this maybe into a series, and maybe a series could actually be really fantastic. But at this rate, please don't make another Crow movie. My score, like, maximum, and I'm probably being a little bit kind of friendly and, you know, actually give it a little bit of a nice rating here. 1.5 out of 5. And again, that's me being kind. But what are your guys' thoughts on The Crow? Have you seen it? What's your thoughts on them even remaking this? Are you going to check it out, or are you going to boycott this movie at all costs? I wouldn't blame you, because the director hasn't exactly got a good filmography. Pretty stinker, if you ask me. But leave all your comments down below so we can continue the discussion down there. If you haven't joined Patreon, you can do so for only £2 per month. Links down below in the description box. During the day, you get access to so much more stuff, and big thanks to all these legends who are part of Patreon. Click over if you haven't seen these videos of mine. Till next time, I say, guys, I'll be seeing you later.